Hi baseball fans, and welcome to Talkin' Rangers Baseball, brought to you by sportswagers-selections.com. And I'll tell you, they're really hot right now. They're hitting at 73% in their college football picks. That's 19-7 for a 73% percentage. And with their NFL best plays, they're 12-4, which is a 75% win percentage. So give them a look at sportswagers-selections.com, and I think you're going to make some good money. Well, this is our special American League Championship Series edition, where we're going to take a look at the Yankees-Rangers series heading into Game 1 tomorrow, Friday, October 15th. And with us to talk to us about this ALCS from Modesto is Big Boppy from on the phone here. I'm Hondo. Boppy, welcome.
Hey, what a great baseball year, and what an historic year and opportunity for the Texas Rangers.
Boy, it's been quite a season from the time in spring training when Ron Washington, it was on Sports Illustrated broke the story that Ron Washington had used cocaine during the 2009 season. A lot of people thought that the Rangers should fire him. I was not amongst that group. I thought that after he got up and addressed the team supported him. Michael Young got up and said, "We have your back." And then Ron Washington went out to center field to meet with the media in a press conference out in beyond center field in a meeting room. And the whole team followed him out there and supported him and sat during that press conference to show their unity. So all in all, it's worked out well. And Ron Washington is now the first manager to lead this team to the ALCS. He's got the second best win percentage for a manager who's lasted more than 2 years behind Johnny Oates, and it's just been a magical season so far for the Rangers, Boppy.
I couldn't agree more, and I think you've got a team that is built to win in the playoffs. They have pitching, they have speed, and they are great at situational hitting. The three things you have to have for a winning formula, and they are going up against the granddaddies of all good teams, the New York Yankees.
That's right. And, I've read a lot of stuff about how this series is over before it even starts. The Yankees have won 27 World Series. They've won X amount of pennants. They've beaten the Rangers 3 times in the 90s, beat them 9 straight times, blah, 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 blah. Well, let me expose right now 3 myths in this, in all that. Number one, the 1990 Rangers are not playing the 90s Yankees. This is 2 different teams. Number 2, the Yankees aren't starting with a 1-0 or a 2-0 series lead just because they've won 27 World Championships. They're still going to have to go on the field and still going to have to play better baseball than the Rangers. And number 3, Texas goes into this series. None of these guys played on the 96, 98, or 99 teams. So all that is just, they laugh when they hear all that. And this team knows they can beat the Yankees because they've won 4 of the last 5 head-to-head matchups with them. So I think it's going to be one heck of a series, Boppy.
And in playoff baseball, it all comes down to matchups. It's matchups of pitcher versus pitcher and pitchers versus the hitter. And in the matchups, I think you have got to like how deep and strong the Texas Ranger lineup is. And I know that those New York media people and the New York fans who really watch baseball, they know that this is a Ranger team that can win, and I would tell you that it is going to be an incredibly important game when CC Sabathia and C.J. Wilson square off against each other on Friday night. I think, as you have said, and I'll give you credit for this, whoever wins Game 1 probably wins the series. But I think I'm going to say this, that if the Rangers win Game 1, I think they may actually win the series in 5 or 6 games. I think the Yankees are terrified of the Rangers getting a sweep in Texas and then having to face Cliff Lee in Game 3.
Well, I definitely think even more so than in other series is that this Game 1 is huge. The Yankees are not as good a team against left-handers as they are against right-handed pitching. And C.J. Wilson and Cliff Lee have just totally shut down left-handed hitters this year. C.J. Wilson left-handed hitters are hitting about $150 against him, and so you figure guys like Curtis Granderson, Brett Gardner, some of their other Robinson Cano, some of their other left-handed hitters are going to have some problems with CJ. And I think right now the key to the whole series, like I said, game one, if CJ Wilson goes out and attacks the strike zone like he did in game 2 against Tampa Bay, I think the Yankees are going to have a very, very difficult time beating him. I think a lot of their fans are underestimating C.J. Wilson, saying, "Oh gosh, I'm sure glad we don't have to face Cliff Lee. I'm glad the Tampa Bay series went 5, so they had to use Cliff Lee in a game 5." Right. They're underestimating C.J. And if he comes out and attacks the strike zone, which is the key to him, sometimes he can get extra hyper, that kind of stuff. But I really think also Cliff Lee has had a positive influence on him. CJ is a smart guy. He's watched the way Cliff Lee attacks hitters, goes right after him. And if he does that against the Yankees tomorrow, I think it could be a long night for the New York Yankees.
And one of the other things I'm going to say here is the Tampa Bay team has a deeper and better starting pitching staff than the Yankees. The Rangers just beat them 3 out of 5, and they beat them with speed and defense. I think this is going to be a heck of a series, and I think the Rangers, there were a lot of balls caught by Carl Crawford, caught by B.J. Upton, caught by the Tampa Bay outfield that are not going to be caught by the New York Yankee outfield.
Well, there's a reason why the Rays beat the Yankees for the American League East title. Is they're as good a team, if not better, than the Yankees. So the team that wins this World Series, what's going to come down to is not who's won the most World Series championships in the past, but who plays the better baseball for the next X amount of games, however many games it takes for either team to win the series.
People that I think are going to play critical roles in this series. And I'm going to say, batting-wise, it's no surprise, but Josh Hamilton, he gets off the diamond, provides some offense for the Rangers. Everything gets a lot easier for everybody. But I think Josh Hamilton's going to have a big series, and I think we're talking 2 or 3 home runs in the series. I think he may drive in as many as 10 runs. I think Josh is going to be big. I also think the other player that we can look for some special contributions from in the situations is David Murphy. I think he's one of those guys who's going to come in and surprise everyone just because he's a great player and he knows how to play the game.
And I'll tell you another thing about this Ranger attack, and I read it before the playoffs. A scout from Major League Baseball said, "Watch Nelson Cruz in the postseason. The guy rises to the occasion. He's the type of guy who the bigger the situation is, the better he hits." That's one reason why he had the 3 or 4 walk-off homers. He thrives in pressure situations, thrives against good pitching, and I think he's going to be the key to this American League Championship Series is Nelson Cruz.
And pitching, I think that because of the bullpens, there's a slight advantage for the Yankees because of the way that Kerry Wood is pitching in the 8th inning. So the only thing what's important for the Rangers is that they have 1 or 2 guys that give them the shutdown 8th innings that Kerry Wood is likely to give the Yankees.
I agree. That was Brian Cashman. That was a very under the radar move that they made, and it's helped the bullpen greatly. Was that acquisition of Kerry Wood from the Indians? That helped them a great deal, and there's no doubt.
There's a reason why Kerry Wood got better after he had like a 60 ERA with the Indians. Mario Rivera taught him how to throw a cutter, and since he's learned to throw a cutter to mix it in with his 92 to 94 mile an hour fastball, which is straight as an arrow, he's getting outs. I mean, nobody's scoring up the baseball on him like they used to. Right,
and don't forget, this team has beaten Mariano Rivera the last 2 times he's come in the 9th inning, so they are not intimidated by Mariano Rivera at all. Real quick, Boppy, your prediction on the series?
I think it's the Rangers in 7.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Rangers in 6. Everybody's going to think it's going to go 7, but I think Colby Lewis wraps it up in a game 6, and it's going to be, I think, a great series. Boppy, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you for our NLCS installment.